Hey, Blooper. Kitty boy. Yep, there you are down there. Having to get in all the pictures, aren't you? Yep, there you are. Say hello to the audience, Blooper. Say hello, Caramel. There's Snickers over there. The 3 biggest disturbances ever. Hello everyone, I'm Kat, and I am in the process of reformatting my YouTube channel. I'm going to be calling it more of what it really has been all along, and basically more of a podcast type channel. I talk a whole lot and ramble on and on and on, so I might as well just call it what it is. I've never really tried to be a how-to per se, because I just hack everything pretty much. And y'all might as well watch me while I hack away and just call it a podcast and go from there. I'm going to still be covering the same type of things that I've been covering on my channel. I am a wood turner-ish, starting out, kind of beginner. Been off for a few weeks because of surgery and when I couldn't do it, but I'll be getting back into that more. I make soaps, I spin yarn, I'm trying to learn to knit better, and I'm going to be learning to crochet better. And so I'm just going to kind of go through the same type of format that the others before me have kind of paved the way. And that's what I did a whole lot while I was off with my surgery. So 6 weeks off of work, and the first 2 weeks was just getting anesthesia out of my body, much less trying to get everything done. But in the process, I got to do a lot more knitting because I didn't run around a lot and go crazy trying to do everything all at once. So in the first few weeks of my recovery, I had a finished object. It's the Naughty But Nice cabled hat. And it's made out of my own 3-ply 80% merino, 20% silk yarn. And then I wanted to work on cables, so this has a ton of cables. I had decreased the needle size because I have a small, tiny head. But I did not think to decrease the brim more. I really wish I would have. And if y'all can think of any way to help me figure out how to tighten it up just a little bit more around the bottom part of the brim, it kind of sticks out a little more than I would like when I'm wearing it. And that's disappointing because I saved this yarn for several years trying to find the right pattern for it, and I used it, and now I'm sad about the way the brim looks. But I'm sure there's a way to figure out how to fix it. So if you post in the comments the best way to do it. I was thinking maybe I can weave in some elastic thread on the inside. Maybe that'll do it. I don't know. I just need a little bit of intake on it. Then I was getting ready for the Ravelinic games. So I was spinning yarn like a mad woman, trying to make my very first shawl. And so in the I entered the shawl competition for the Ravelinics game, and let me see, I think it's under here somewhere. Nope. Okay, I will find my, oh, the cats were laying on it. Let me get the shawl. I haven't, now this is my Jody shawl. I haven't blocked it yet. I haven't woven the ends yet, but it's my very first shawl. I shortened it considerably because the yarn I spun on the top, well, all the way through pretty much, is a lot thicker than the yarn they recommended. I honestly have never seen a DK weight yarn, so I just kind of guessed what it would be, and I guessed wrong. Hence the hack thing. I'm going to have to get a hold of Kamaj Fiber Arts Easy Spin Tool, and so I'll know what the real weight of DK is. I have some fingering to some fingering to compare it to if I want to spin thin, and I've worsted, but this kind of ended up as a almost thick worsted. So I shortened it, and I wanted to complete the project for the Ravelini games. I just have to admit that. That's the number one reason I shortened it. But then I was glad, because this is Texas. I'm 5'1" and maybe a half. I lied on my driver's license, I have to admit. I said I was 5'2". Hope the police don't get me now. But anyway, and also that surgery I had, now I'm ending up with massive hot flashes. So I figured the shawl would actually be a better idea than a jacket, because I'm putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. And so this will be nice and easier to get on and off, and it doesn't affect my arms or anything, and my face is totally uncovered with it. So I love it. I'm excited. I can't wait till I'm done blocking it and I can get the cats off of it long enough to do that, and then I can weave in my ends. I really don't mind weaving in the ends. It's the blocking's the problem, because I don't have anything to block it with. Kitty, he almost knocked the camera over. He's trying to get my shawl. But anyway, I highly recommend the Jody shawl. So do the cats. Carmel, leave it alone. Anyway, I also had a whip. I entered the whip. I entered the whip competition as well, and that was very ambitious of me, because normally my superpower is slow knitting, and I'm trying to get better at it or at least faster. So I have a whip that I finished for the games. I started it just before the games, and then I finished it, and it's the same as the same yarn as I have with my hat. I love this scarf. I don't know if you can see it. I did the cables, and it's just an easy basic cable scarf on Ravelry. Very, very simple. The hat was way harder than the scarf was. I wish I would have had more yarn to make it longer, but that was all the yarn I'd spun. That was my 8-ounce 8-ounce bat of yarn that I had, or of fiber. So I spun it up in the 3-ply, and that's what I ended up with, was a matching hat and scarf that I'm very, very proud of, by the way. So I had my shawl, and I showed you that. I have another whip that I'm working on. I spun this I think it was during Spinzilla in 2017. So I spun this yarn. It was just out of I don't even know. It was an Ashland Bay wool that I got from Fancy Fiber Farms. I get a lot of stuff from her. She's excellent to work with. She's the person who sold me my wills and my floor loom, my Kromsky Heart floor loom. Anyway, yep, ear flaps on a 51-year-old. They're going to be great. My husband looked at me whenever he saw it and said, "Only you would wear that." I was like, "No, it's a pattern. A lot of people would wear it." It's an easy ear flap hat on Ravelry, and it also has mitts with pattern, and I will be making those mitts as well when I'm done with this. I had to convince him to go to Michael's last night just so I could get the correct DPNs so I could finish the top and do the mitts. Anyway, I've never done mitts before, and I've never done ear flaps before, so considering everything, I think it looks pretty good. Of course, all the yarn ends. So these projects were all done with my hand spun, so it's like a double or triple hobby. I can get the fiber, I can turn it into bats, or I can put it on my combs and comb it out. Then I can spin it. Then I knit it. Then it just keeps going. So it's like fiber's not really wasted. I've used it several different times by the time I'm done with it. I have just gotten back, I would say 2 weeks ago, actually, almost now, from my Winter Fiber Fun Retreat that is sponsored by Fancy Fibers Farm and Knitting Fairy. I believe both of those sponsor it together. And I took a couple more spinning classes, Mary Berry from Fancy Fibers Farms and Mary from Butterfly Girls. And Mary Berry taught Spinning 201 class, and so I learned a little more details. It was slow going for me and kind of frustrating because I couldn't spin very fast just because of the recent surgery. But so trying to get the thin yarns, just it wasn't working out too well. I was just happy with what I could do though. Anyway, as my camera keeps shutting off, I made a couple of bats in Butterfly Girls, Miss Mary's class, and I used all different types of really neat things. I've already spun a small part of this, and it turned into a very, very fine looking yarn because I have alpaca, silk, camel yak, cashmere, some superwash merino, some other merino, all different kinds of fun fibers are in here, and you can see the shine. I think maybe even a little Angelina got in it. Blues, blacks, yellows, some grays. I just like all the fun colors. Then I made in her class another bat, totally different shadings. Same type of components though. All the good fibers. I'm going to spin this one up just a little bit thicker, and you can see a little bit of, I believe, camel right here. I just have it mixed out in throughout, pinks and blues and blacks and purples. Anyway, that's 2 of the bats I made while we were in there. So pretty and so soft. Then she was generous enough and gave us some of the class samples. Split them out. There was only a few of us in the class, so she could pay more attention to us. And these are some of the samples that she gave us. I can't remember all the different things she put in hers, but it's incredibly soft. Then a comparison. These 2 bats are made out of the same components. This one went through the cardder twice, and this was just once. She definitely uses Angelina. Sparklies Pretties. I don't know if you can catch that. Pretty, pretty. As opposed to the more blended. Shiny And that's going to make a beautiful yarn as well. I wish I had a full-size bat of all of these. She just does a beautiful job with them. One of my first things to ever buy was from her at DFW Fiber Festival. I didn't realize, I was all sad because the next year I wasn't going to be able to go to DFW because I had chose to go to the retreat, the Winter Fiber Fun Retreat with Miss Mary from Fancy Fibers Farm. And guess who was there? It was lady from Butterfly Girls. It was almost like I was starstruck. I was so excited. So I didn't get to miss out on the beautiful fiber anyway. I was able to get it there. I made a few purchases while I was there too. And I did some trading, because that's always good, right? I purchased this bat, and it is 5.25 ounces. It's Merino, Bamboo, and Angelina. And it is a huge bat. I could not pass it up. Look at that. Is that not incredible? And it's so thick. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. And it's not going to be a thin yarn. I'll probably ply it with something else. Blooper, please do not knock over my camera. I appreciate that. Thank you. Kitty's trying to get in the film. Okay, so there's that bat that I got from Butterfly Girls. Then, oops, I also got some cashmere. I'm going to turn this into some bats. The cats keep trying to lay in it, and I get jealous because I want her to. When I was in her class, she taught us how to do beehives. And so I made this. This is my first attempt, so please don't laugh. I made the bat at home before I went. Some of them were kind of floppy, and some turned into things that really aren't beehives, and I'm not really sure what it is, but, you know. First attempts. And this one flopped over. But I learned how to control my thick and thin yarns a lot better. But I love, 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 and am very excited about my beehives. I'm going to weave with it. I don't care how nasty it looks. It's begging to be a scarf. I also got some camel. The cat knocked it on the floor. And so I'll show the camel towards the end when the camera clicks off again. I made a trade and then bought some Gotland locks. They were naturally gray, and then I overdyed them to be the colors that I wanted. So I've got some pinks and purples and blues. These came from Spinning Yarns and Weave and Tells by Susan Collier. And so, don't know if you can see that. Focusing in camera? Probably not. Everything I've probably shown you is probably going to be blurry. Anyway, on Etsy, she is Spin Weave Felt Fiber. Spin Weave Felt Fiber. Very nice lady. I was really excited to meet her and her daughter. Had a lot of fun with them. Very lively people. So, is that just not beautiful? I'm going to be doing my first lock spun from these fibers. I love dyeing, but I've never just gone all out and made lock spun. Now, I also added to my yarn stash, which I don't really have a ton of yarn stash. The only time I've really bought yarn is when I've bought an occasional acrylic at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's every now and then, mainly for the grandkids and all of that. But lately I've been doing more of spinning and letting, and giving them stuff from the spun. telling my daughter I'd probably strangle her. Sorry, Bet, if she washed them. I used a really cool art yarn for Brianna that I spun several years ago, just waiting for the right project. And so I made her a hat and a cowl out of it, and it looks so cute on her. Anyway, the 2 yarns that I added to my stash of non-acrylic box store yarns they're called Ley Lines. And they are 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, hand-dyed, cold wash, dry flat. Anyway, I'm probably going to make a shawl of some sort out of them. They're just so pretty. I love these colors, 2 of my favorite colors other than pink. Pink is my favorite color. Now I'm going to show you my entire stash of yarn that I've gotten from stores in my entire life. As far as not the big box stores, but from yarn stores. And so here's my stash. It's all Noro yarn. The only reason I have it is one of our local yarn stores went out of business, and I grabbed everything they were throwing in the dollar bin. And so I've got multiple skeins of Noro yarn for $1 each. I think it was $1. It might have been $2, but I think it was really $1. So I got an excellent deal on that, and I really hate that they're gone because now I have to drive quite a distance to get to a yarn store. If I wanted to, I usually get fiber instead, but lately I've been wanting to be very consistent with my yarn, trying these little bitty thins, and I'm more of a worsted or bulky spinner, so that's okay. My kitty is hunting down a wasp. Please don't catch the wasp, blooper. Okay, if I hear him screaming in a minute, that's what happened. He caught it, but it's flying above his head. Anyway, so that part of the yarn part is where I've been, but I'm also turned wood, and so I'm trying to incorporate it all back into all my hobbies back into the fiber arts. I've made a spindle. I use an 1/8 inch metal dowel, and I turned on my lathe the end piece, and then I sharpened on my grinder the point, and I had a beautiful little chalice like bowl, but I think I lost it at the Fiber Festival, and I'm gonna have to get another piece of walnut to make another one because it works so good on all of my spindles, and I don't know why I lost it. Anyway, at some point I'm gonna make a yarn bowl, but I'm gonna have to get a little bit better at it. This is my very first bowl I ever made, and so I was so proud of it. It was made out of maple, and it's just such a nice bowl, and I just kind of want to set it around and just have it just sitting around. Okay, I got up because my camera keeps shutting off. It's driving me crazy. Other podcasters, can you please tell me what camera you use? I know some of y'all use your computers, but mine, I worked on it all night long. I say all night. I'm a night shifter, so that's okay. I'm about to go to bed now, but I worked on it 5 hours trying to get the stupid thing to just stop cycling through and actually coming up all the way. So I finally got it up. So here I am recording. I'm going to put it through the computer, post it up, and go from there. But if anybody has any better ideas on, I have a Canon, I got it, a 2Ti, I believe it is. I got it like years ago. And so if anybody has a better idea, let me know. I might try to save up and get a better one. Anyway, okay, since I got up, I'm going to show you what camel looks like. Yep, camel. Nice and soft and brown. Brownish, tannish. It's really pretty. So it's going to go awesome with the cashmere. Spread out the cashmere, spread out the camel. Anyway, okay, so with my wood turning, I've gotten several nice presents for my husband. He knows me. When a normal girl wants flowers and candies for Valentine's Day or something for Christmas, yeah, I'm not so much that way. I always ask for things like, I wanted a fiber and wood Christmas last year, and I got all kinds of fibers. I've got, he bought me a rubber mallet. And I guess and a shop vac. I love my shop vac. Now I can not inhale any dust through my mask, and I can clean up my woodworking, my shavings a whole lot better now. So I'm kind of excited about my shop vac and my wooden mallet, because all I had was just a regular hammer, and you really can't do some of the tools. I also think that he probably knows I'll probably use it as a weapon at some point too. So anyway, love weapons. This I got for my Valentine's Day one year. And it's a Thompson ball gouge, special curved top. And so even has my name on it, which I love. I've dropped it a few times. I've dinged up my Precious, but I only have one really good tool. The rest are from Harbor Freight. And so this is my tool of choice for just about everything. And he got me the sharpening system too. So I have a slow speed grinder and a Wolverine sharpening jig, and I know y'all are bored with that, but this is what's going to help me make my wonderful Fiber Arts tools. And so that is an exciting thing. So I'm going to combine everything, and my soaps. I'll be showing you my soaps as I make them more. You're just going to get a whole load of everything. So my podcast is just going to be a day in the life of Kat. And because that's what it is. My mind goes in a million different directions. I'm a nurse. I own a construction company with my husband. I do Artisan Designs by Kat, which really this is Artisan Designs by Kat. I really don't force the selling, but if you're willing to buy from me, that'd be fine, but I really don't have any way to sell it. I have no drive that way. I'd rather do this than that, but I'll make things all day long and show you, and you can give ideas to me because I'm new at just about everything. Except for the soap making, I'm pretty darn good at that. Have my recipes down pat, and I don't mind sharing some of them with you. Maybe not everything, but everybody likes different things anyway. So it's up to you if you decide to make soap to find the recipe and figure it out and tweak it to your liking versus what I like. I think mine's most excellent though. I have a lot of other soaping friends out there. Maggie from Serenity Bay Bath and Body. Miss Spring from Soaps and Suds and Such. They're excellent soapers. I have their soaps and I love them. Yes, Spring, my husband was using your big fluffy soap the other day. Really, I guess that's about it. I'm sure I've forgotten everything. But we'll get together next time. I'm going to try to do this every couple of weeks. Maybe more, maybe less. Depends on how the mood strikes me. I can whip up soap in one night. So my work in progress will be my finished object the next day. So that's always fun to see how that transpires. But all of this works together. You have the colors, the medium that you're working in. And it's artistic and it's fun. And you get to create. It's just really awesome to be able to do this and to have YouTube out there so that you can be inspired by everybody else. And so I just want to take you on this crazy journey of me and with me and see what I do, and then I see what others do, and we just try to encourage each other. And so Grocery Girls got me started on wanting the shawl because I was sick and I couldn't do anything else. And so I just watched podcast after podcast. I've watched their entire 52, 53 now, I guess, episodes in the last 6 weeks. And I've seen so many others, and I hope to see way more now that I know that they're out there, because I'm not really TV watching. I watch things more in snippets, but for some reason these podcasts have just got me hooked. And so maybe me and my occasional friends that I invite in to do this with me, maybe we can encourage you too, and reach out and do something. Don't be scared. You can't be scared. I mean, what's it going to cost you? A ball of yarn or some fiber? The sheep grow more wool. The alpacas grow. The goats grow. I mean, they need to release that wool so that they can be comfortable. Let us use it. It's okay. We don't have to be yarn snobs. We don't have to be fiber snobs. We can go to the big box store, pull apart one of the thicker, less spun yarns and respin it just to be able to create. You know, cotton ball yarn and all those yarn, the cotton in the pill boxes. You can spin with that. I make drawer pulls, support spindles, so I can spin my yarn, and it makes some mighty fine yarn, and it's only a few bucks to make. And I have a video on how to do that. I have videos on how to, about my Kiwi spinning wheel. I have videos on my Spinolution wheel. You share with me your videos of all the things you do. Someday I'll love pottery and, I don't know, underwater basket weaving. I always joke that would be a class I would take in school. So anyway, day in the life of Kat. Please like, subscribe. Please don't report me to anybody. That wouldn't be cool. But anyway, share and just enjoy and be creative today. Make something, whether it's a cookie or make some yarn, knit something, turn a bowl. And don't be afraid to turn a bowl because you're a girl, because that's not right. We can do just about anything we want to do. So come back and see me in a few weeks, and that's about all I've got. Thanks for watching my podcast. Bye.